Master Grade, Ginn. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to my channel. As you can already see, we have the Master Grade ZGMF-1017 Ginn from Bandai. Appearing in the Gundam Seed and Gundam Seed Destiny series, the Ginn is a mass-produced general-purpose mobile suit made by Zaft, and it was the primary mobile suit that the Zaft Force used in the early years of the war. I love grunt suits and I'm a huge fan of the designs of the mobile suits in Gundam Seed, so this was just perfect and I had to get it. I always loved the design of the Ginn. It was like a very sleek aerodynamic Zaku, so when I heard Bandai announce that this was getting a Master Grade, oh boy, I was so excited! Anyways, back to the model kit. Released on April of 2021. Being a Master Grade, of course, it has a lot of panel lining opportunities and a lot of decals to apply. And I'll let you know that this kit is fully panel lined and I have used as much stickers as physically possible, which definitely helps break up all the gray that this kit has. And by zooming in, you can definitely see it has a lot of dull color palettes here. And for this kit specifically, I think stickers are mandatory for it. It's not colorful like a traditional Gundam model kit, so there's not a lot of color separation here. But for the lack of color, it fits really well with this kit. And of course, Bandai in the future is probably going to make crazy premium Bandai variants. That's in the future. This kit, by itself, I think looks really good. It's pretty much the exact same thing as the anime illustration, just with extra detail into it. And there's enough detail in the kit itself that's separated from like a traditional Zaku. There's of course that large mono eye that it has on its head, but the similarities pretty much stop there. The overall silhouette is much thinner compared to a Zaku, and the large fin on its head as well as those wings definitely make it more suited to aerial combat, just because it looks so much more aerodynamic. And here it is without any weapons, and you can see it looks really good. It has its own unique design, which is a little simple, not too busy, but also stands out. But how well does it move? Let's take a look. And like always, let's begin with the head. It's able to look this far up and this far down. Here's a side view of that. Up and down. A small side-to-side pivot. We have a 360 of the head, which is slightly impeded by that fin, so be careful there. Onto the shoulder pauldrons, it's able to go this far up, down, and a small forward and back swivel. Gonna have to move the wing back so it doesn't impede the arm movement. We have a full 360 rotation of the arm. The upper arm, or upper bicep as you could call it, could 360. We have this little flap that connects to the shoulder that could go up and down. Turning on for a side view, we have this much of an elbow bend. Double elbow joint. Really nice. And it can straighten up this much. The hand's on a ball and socket joint, so it could definitely perform a 360. The hand also has a hinge joint that gives it excellent flexion. Look at that bend. But if you play around with it too much, it'll come off. And here's the extension, very little. And the thumb, like all Master Grades, function the same way. Has some pretty decent movement and is on a ball socket joint. And the arm can abduct this much. Decent at best, because it's inhibited by this little chest portion that's connected to the shoulder. These panels on the side of his chest is able to slide forward and back. Okay, onto the torso. We can flip this hatch over here to reveal the cockpit with our pilot Steve in there. I love how all Master Grades have these cockpits. Okay, moving the arm to the side, we have this much of a side bend. There's only movement on the chest part. The core is a solid piece. Almost non-existent ab crunch because of the solid core. The whole torso is unable to do a full 360 because it gets caught on the arm over here. So don't even try it or you're gonna break something. Now turning him over to see the wings, we have a swivel joint that connects to the backpack. This gives the wings the ability to move in and out like this. The upper and lower part of the wings actually have some movement in them as well. The backpack can also tilt them up and down. To remove it, you just pull it off, and you can see two pegs that slide into these two slots. Moving down to his skirt, his front skirts could go up and down, and also swivel left and right. The side skirt can also move up and down and swivel left to right as well. The back skirt is a big piece that can only tilt up and down, and there is also a slot piece here where you can store the gun, and it can flip up and down as well. And moving on to the legs, we got a decent split right here. And here is where his action base adapter goes, and I just leave it there. The upper part of the leg could rotate slightly, but is unable to do a 360 rotation. I even tried extending the leg over here in this angle and try to rotate it, but yeah, that ain't gonna happen. The Ginn could kick up this high, kind of stopped by the skirt. decent, and this much of a back kick. That's alright. The knee could bend up this far, has a good double knee joint. Ankle armor is able to flip up and down, as well as the rear ankle armor, though very small. Side to side ankle pivot. Overall ankle has a decent rotation, but is unable to do a 360 without feeling like I'm going to break something. And we got a really good toe bend. In terms of articulation, the Ginn is decent. Most of the range of motion is pretty much like what a master grade should have, but some joints are unable to pivot 360, so that's the only issue. Okay, that being done, let's move on to his accessories. First thing we have are 4 pairs of hands. We got a pair of trigger finger holding hands for the guns, a pair of open-handed fingers, a pair of normal holding hands for the sword and missile pods, and a pair of closed fists, which are already on the hands. For weapons, the first thing we have is the MMI M8A3 76mm Heavy Assault Machine Gun. Overall, the color looks pretty plain, but there's a lot of good details molded onto it, and also removable magazine. Ta-da! And you can just slot this back in. Despite the two-tone color, it has a lot of detail molded right into it, which you could bring out with some nice panel lining. And like I stated earlier, this can actually be stored on his back skirt, with this slot over here. The gun has a tab that goes right in there. Like so, gun is holstered. And to equip this thing, get that trigger finger hand right in there, slot it in, pop off the other hand, then slot on that trigger finger hand. And there you go, rifle in hand, looks like a badass. And the next thing we have is the magazine holders, with 3 extra magazines, which are also interchangeable with the gun. Something small, but I appreciate how Bandai put in this gimmick. And the magazine holders can be attached onto his side skirts. Just pop in that peg on the holster right into the side skirt slot, and you're good. Next up we have the MAM3 Heavy Blade. A double-edged sword. No beam sabers here. It's a simplistic design, but it fits the Ginn really well, and it looks pretty cool. And like everything else, you could store this sword right on his side skirts. To equip the sword, just pop this hand off, grab the holding hand, slot it right onto the sword's handle, then just pop right into that hand like how you did the gun. And then we got another badass pose you could do. I definitely prefer a solid blade compared to a beam saber. And finally, for his last pair of weapons, we got these 2 rocket pods, which is very nice for this kit, making it a little bit more unique. And they can also be stored on the legs. But if you want to equip them, they also come with this cool sliding handle. And when extended, you could grab a holding hand, slide it right onto the handle itself, put on the hands like how you would the other weapons, and we got some cool dual-wielding rocket pods. I've never seen this in the anime, but this is very cool to have. And there you have it for accessories. It's really nice how he's able to holster every single weapon. It's great to have a variety of weapons, but it's also very cool that you're able to store it all. But how well do the weapons stay on? Shake test! Okay, I think I might have been a little too rough on it, yeah. Aside from being bisected, I think it did pretty well. Only the gun fell off. Everything else pretty much stayed in place, so... For now, it holds pretty well, but let's give it a couple months and see if it gets loose. And also being a master grade, let's see how big it is compared to everything else. Here it is next to 2 entry grades RX-78-2s, real grade New Gundam, next to a fellow master grade, the Blue Frame, next to Big Chungus, Amplified Machine Dramon, HMM Wild Liger, DK Amiibo, Dreadnought, Funko Roy, A1144th High Grade Ginn, a hair clip, Mug, Egbert, and finally a shelf presence test, next to some fellow master grades. I personally find the Ginn has to be in an aerial pose. It just looks so much better this way. And for my final thoughts, I love the Ginn. It's a great design. It's just another master grade. No new technology or engineering put into the kit. It just looks very cool. It's not as colorful as other kits, but its own color and unique design definitely make it very distinct. It's a very fun and easy build. There was no issue putting it into any pose, and every pose you do put it in, it pulls it off really well. I didn't have any issues with this kit at all. Everything was perfect except maybe from like some joints not being able to do a 360, but whatever. If you're a fair fan of Gundam Seed, go ahead, grab this kit. If not, go ahead, grab the kit. It's still pretty good. It's a unique design. And Bandai's still probably going to make variants of this kit, so you can always look forward to that if you like this. With the upcoming Full Mechanics Calamity, I'm hoping they keep doing more Seed suits. I know it wasn't the greatest anime, but I love the designs for the suits. Hey, thanks for watching my video. I enjoyed making it. I do hope you come back and watch my other reviews. I will be making so many more. Let me know what you think. If you dislike it, at least let me know, so I could try to improve. Thanks again, take care, bye!